Just being with him everywhere, seeing nice things all the time since I was born. So I always knew that he was doing something. I mean, I don't know, it could have been anything. So I had a fun childhood, crazy childhood.
Right, they don't even understand that you know, the way we grew up, you're supposed to spend no more than 10 or 20% of what you make. You know what I'm saying? So you can have something.
He was able to do it because, you know, like financially, I was supporting the idea, and I believe he could do it. He had moved to California and was working with acting coaches, and his dad didn't know that he was actually doing that.
Best memory of 50 Cent?
Best memory of 50 Cent? Ever since I met 50 Cent, he's always been stand up and probably the most truthful person I've ever met.
I'm saying from the hood to Hollywood that you gotta have, you know what I'm saying? And especially when you getting it, you know what I'm saying? See, people never seen how I really put it down, because unless you a part of that, I'm not gonna let you see that. Only thing you're gonna see is us enjoying ourselves.
Big Meech just went off on 50 Cent, and he's straight up blaming him for twisting his own son Lil Meech against him. This whole drama exploded when Big Meech linked up with Rick Ross right after he walked out of prison, and that little handshake sparked a wildfire between him and 50. Lil Meech got stuck right in the crossfire, and it's been nothing but chaos ever since. At first, Lil Meech was trying hard to stay neutral and keep things chill with 50 Cent, even telling everybody he was loyal to him. But that so-called loyalty has vanished like smoke. Now both Big Meech and Lil Meech are standing firm with Rick Ross, and they don't care who knows it anymore.
Yeah, so look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino. It's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big, I can feel it. I'm just talking.
Word is Big Meech is furious because 50 Cent just tossed some nasty shade at his parenting, calling him a terrible role model. He even went so far as to accuse Big Meech of pushing Lil Meech into blowing cash like crazy and messing around with substances. That cut deep, and Big Meech isn't about to sit quiet. Now the Flannery father and son are plotting their revenge. Rumor has it they're cooking up their own BMF series and teaming up with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather to bring it to life. They're gunning to steal that spotlight right out of 50's hands. But folks are already clowning Big Meech and Lil Meech, saying they're setting themselves up for a brutal reality check if they really think Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather will ride for them all the way.
Man, Meech, bro, I don't know. Lil Meech, I ain't like his response. It seemed like he got a genuine kind of love for 50 on his response. But, you know, my response, bro, nigga, fuck you, nigga. Nigga, that's my daddy. Nigga, fuck you, nigga. Nigga, let's go to war, nigga, fuck you. And everything you, nigga, fuck you. I don't know what Meech was on some, nigga, that's my paw, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Right, wrong, nigga, I don't give a fuck, nigga. Is it? My son, nigga, my nigga ain't gonna go against this grain. Fuck that. I was like, damn, you know, like, seemed like him and 50 got a, you know, cause after that then came out how Meech was talking all, you know, like, no, nigga, fuck all y'all. I'm with my dad, nigga, you know, I ain't like his.
Word on the street is people think Big Meech and Lil Meech are about to get finessed out of every dime they've still got. No cap. So what's Big Meech really plotting to try and check 50 Cent? And what did 50 even say that had everybody dragging Big Meech as some so-called bad parent to Lil Meech? Big Meech isn't letting 50 Cent stain his name without firing back hard. It all popped off when 50 took some cold shots at Big Meech's parenting, basically calling him a toxic influence and saying he raised Lil Meech to blow money and act reckless. The BMF legend is out here chasing payback, and he's serious with it. Once 50 cut Lil Meech off and started teasing that the BMF series was about to get canned, Lil Meech started panicking big time. He scrambled to smooth things over, hitting up 50 straight up, trying to keep his spot locked down. Lil Meech was out here trying to play it cool, claiming that viral photo of Big Meech and Rick Ross. the one that lit up the internet, was just business, nothing personal.
Big Meech and Lil Meech looks like they are officially partners with Floyd Mayweather. Now they're being very tight-lipped about the venture, but my guess is it is going to be big. Floyd Mayweather is a very, very competitive person, and he will pull out all the stops in his attempt to beat 50 Cent.
Lil Meech even messaged 50 like, F Ross, but he gave my dad some bread so he could cover bills till our next season starts. He was stressing out, saying, this internet-ish is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life. But 50 wasn't buying none of that soft talk. He shut it down fast and clapped back heavy. 50 fired back like, what next season? Little Ninja. That was basically him saying Lil Meech was cut off for good. And to make it worse, 50 jumped back online and started clowning Lil Meech in front of everybody.
I'm still trying to find myself. My dad was calling me from jail every day. He was like, man, what you gonna do? I said, I don't know. I always knew I wanted to be my own person. It's just hard, to live up to my dad's name. And he called me one day, he's like, man, they looking at Terrence Howard and Nipsey Hussle. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to play me, but you gotta go to acting class so you can get ready. So I met 50. 50 put me in acting classes for 2 years in LA. Invested in me, paid for the acting classes. I had to go every day, 2 times a day, 5 days a week. In the morning, in the afternoon, come back home, study again, do the same thing the next day.
Wow, and a ball player.
Yeah, but I put in the work though, and it showed me that 50 couldn't get me the job. I had to get myself the job. My dad couldn't get me the job. They would have hired somebody else that already had acting experience. I had no experience, so
50 Cent was out here cracking hard jokes, saying since Lil Meech botched his spot on BMF, his next move might be hopping on Love and Hip Hop. That was straight savage. Then he doubled down and kept the petty going, posting, I'll hit up Mona Scott for him later today. But 50 wasn't even close to done torching folks. He came right back swinging at Big Meech and Rick Ross, throwing shade at their parenting skills and digging up old receipts to prove his point. He even dug out some throwback clips of Lil Meech hanging around with Rick Ross's daughter, Toya Roberts, back when they used to mess around. 50 flipped that into more shots, calling them all fake about caring for the BMF legacy. He went off like, why didn't old boy look out for Meech and put him in acting school? Big screech, all your people out here did nothing for him. He wasn't pulling no punches. Then 50 reminded everybody real quick who kept the lights on while Big Meech was locked up. He made it loud and clear. BMF wouldn't even be trending if it wasn't for him putting it on TV. And he didn't stop there. 50 claimed Lil Meech blew through every dollar he earned from the show. He said, I helped your family make over $5 million in clean money. It's not my fault it's all gone now. That's a wild accusation, and it smacked hard when folks heard it. Some fans were straight clowning 50 Cent for cutting Lil Meech off so quick just because Big Meech linked up with Rick Ross. But plenty of folks said 50 had every reason to feel betrayed, especially after he did all that work to bring the Flannery name back in the spotlight. Even some industry heads jumped in, and the loudest of them all was Boozy, who didn't hold nothing back.
Elliot charged me $200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3 or 4 hours. My neck started hurting. You might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3 just for the pendant. Right here, this is Antarctica. It's the big boy. This is a pristine called it Antarctica. It's the chandelier. I might have seen DJ Khaled with this on. It's that big boy,
How much is it gonna go?
$2 million.
Boozy said he didn't respect how Lil Meech reacted to all the shade 50 was throwing, especially in that text message. Boozy thought Lil Meech was acting way too soft and polite, even when 50 was dragging his pops for everybody to see. He was like, if that was him, he would have snapped on 50 with no hesitation. Boozy made it clear he's never staying quiet when it comes to his family. But 50 Cent wasn't about to tuck his tail and run. He had all the time in the world to fire back. He clapped back at Boozy, saying he's done way more for Lil Meech than Big Meech ever stepped up to do. 50 even posted a clip from Boozy's interview and wrote, I did more for Meech than anybody in his life. Boozy, that's why he answered me like that. If he gets locked up, I'm the first one he calls. I bailed him out every single time. And that wasn't even the biggest bomb 50 dropped. He came out and said he once paid for Lil Meech to get treatment after he found out he was hooked on whippets. Laughing gas. He really put everything out in the open. Then, in another IG post, 50 broke down exactly why the whole thing blew up so ugly. Between 50 Cent, Big Meech, and Lil Meech, folks say this whole mess is really about straight-up jealousy. Big Meech was feeling salty about how tight 50 and his son got while he was stuck behind bars. But instead of chilling out, Big Meech and Lil Meech are standing tall and making loud moves just to prove they don't need 50 Cent in their corner no more. Now Big Meech and Lil Meech are fully rolling with Rick Ross. Yeah, the same Rick Ross that Lil Meech was trash-talking in those texts to 50 not that long ago. Wild, right? But that's not even the craziest part. These two just linked up with Floyd Mayweather, another heavyweight 50 can't stand. Lil Meech recently popped out in Miami looking cozy with both Ross and Floyd, and to make sure 50 got the message, he posted pics of them together with the caption "Real Power." That was a bold shot straight at 50's whole Power series. But Lil Meech didn't stop flexing. Just a couple days later, he jumped back on IG with another slick post. This time, he was posted up with Big Meech and Floyd Mayweather, all smiles, and the only thing he put in the caption was a shushing emoji. No words needed. The silence was louder than anything he could have said. Now the streets are buzzing like crazy, and rumors are flying that Big Meech and Lil Meech are locking down some massive business move with Floyd. Folks are saying something big is cooking behind the scenes, and nobody can figure out exactly what it is yet. But one thing's for sure, they're plotting something major, and they want everybody to know they don't need 50 Cent's help to pull it off. But one thing's for sure, the streets won't stop talking. Word is Big Meech, Lil Meech, and Rick Ross might be cooking up a brand new show or movie all about the Black Mafia family, totally separate from 50 Cent's BMF series on Starz. And get this, just a few weeks ago, Rick Ross himself said he was ready to jump in and produce his own BMF movie. That's a bold move, no doubt. Looks like they're plotting something huge behind the scenes, but here's where it gets tricky. Ross might want to slow down on all that big talk about a BMF movie because he'd have to get the green light from none other than 50 Cent to even get it off the ground. Yep, you heard that right. Sources close to the situation told TMZ that 50 actually owns all the TV and film rights to the whole BMF story, and those contracts are locked up tight no matter how messy this beef gets. Those rights aren't going anywhere, period. And to make it even more official, TMZ confirmed that 50's G-Unit film division is already working on a brand new project, a biopic on Tammy Cowens, and it's supposed to take the entire BMF saga to another level nobody's ever seen before. With all this moving in the background, the spotlight is shifting fast. Now a lot of people are switching sides and siding with 50 Cent. They're clowning Lil Meech for fumbling what could have been the biggest bag of his life. Word is Lil Meech blew through every single dollar he earned from the BMF show without stacking or investing a dime. According to folks in the know, he ran through that whole bag in just a few years, wasting millions on designer clothes, iced-out chains, and luxury trips, and he didn't even try to keep it low-key. Lil Meech was out here flexing like crazy on social media, rocking custom Chrome Hearts jeans and bragging about dropping $2 million on an iced-out watch. Now everybody's wondering, was it all just some flashy act? Word on the block is Lil Meech burned through a wild $5 million, and not one dime went into anything smart or steady. He splurged it all on cars, designer drip, and blinding jewelry, but never once thought about stacking up or building something for his future. According to Tony Yayo, Meech was walking around acting big-headed, telling folks like Lil Baby they should be sliding him cash to help out Big Meech. And to make it even more wild, Yayo claimed Lil Meech was begging people for money while blowing $100 grand on just one pair of jeans. That's straight up insane. And here's the kicker. Lil Meech admitted himself that when he first linked up with 50 Cent, he was totally lost. No plan, no direction, no clue what to do next. But 50 saw something in him and decided to take a chance. He didn't just hand Lil Meech a role, he paid out of pocket to send him to acting classes for 2 full years. Let's be real. 50 didn't have to lift a finger for that boy. He could have hired a seasoned actor with real experience and saved himself a mountain of cash. But instead, he gambled on Lil Meech and gave him a legit shot to shine. What makes this whole thing even crazier is Lil Meech kept it real and said he was completely lost when 50 came around. No game plan, no moves, just vibes and an empty strategy. But 50 Cent saw something in Lil Meech and never turned his back. Instead, he brought him in close, treated him like family, and even dropped serious cash to pay for 2 straight years of acting lessons. Let's keep it real. 50 didn't have to lift a finger. He could have easily hired some trained actor with real credits and saved a fat bag of money, but nah. He took a gamble on Lil Meech and handed him a shot that most folks only dream about. You'd think after getting that kind of golden opportunity, Lil Meech would have moved smart, kept his business tight, and protected his spot. But it was like he really thought the fame and money were never gonna dry up. Like people would keep tossing him millions forever with 0 strings attached. At first, when the beef popped off between 50 and Big Meech, fans were actually feeling sorry for Lil Meech. A lot of folks said 50 was being way too cold, punishing the son for his dad's drama. They were riding heavy for Lil Meech and backing him up all the way. But that sympathy is drying up quick. The second Lil Meech popped out in Miami with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather, 2 of 50's biggest rivals, and started flexing like it was all good, people started giving him the side eye. It's not sitting right with anybody, especially since just weeks ago he was trashing Rick Ross in texts and swearing loyalty to 50 Cent like his life depended on it. Now that the rumors are flying about Big Meech and Lil Meech teaming up with Ross and Floyd to cook up their own BMF movie, fans are feeling played hard. They're not here for the flip-flopping, and folks are saying Lil Meech might have just burned the biggest bridge he ever had. A lot of folks are already saying this whole plan might crash and burn before it even gets started. Why? Because Big Meech actually sold the rights to his life story to Tammy Cowens. Yup, Tammy. The same woman who linked up with 50 Cent to create the original BMF series on Starz. So legally, Big Meech doesn't even own his own story anymore. Tammy does. So if Big Meech and Lil Meech are really trying to cook up a rival version with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather, the big question is, how exactly are they planning to buy those rights back? Or are they about to rewrite the whole thing from scratch just to dodge a legal smackdown? Some folks think this is nothing but a bold move to get under 50's skin after all that ugly drama. Others say it's a desperate reach that's bound to flop. Either way, this mess is getting wilder by the day. But now we want to hear from you. Was 50 right about Big Meech being a bad influence on his own son? And how do you feel about this flashy new team-up with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather? Is it a real power play or just a guaranteed train wreck waiting to happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know what you think. And if you're feeling all this drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your crew. Smash that bell so you never miss out on the next twist. Catch you on the next one.